Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're big week. I'm having a hard time stringing thoughts together.
No, in the car, we sounded like we were being remixed.
We sounded like thing one and thing two.
And you're like, and then
It's so frustrating.
It's really frustrating.
I talk so slow, and then I have such a hard time articulating my thoughts. So I go, okay, so no. So when I thought, no, because what I mean is.
But okay, here's the thing that makes me jealous is you can as I can't even speak right now. You can stop though. You there's a moment of stillness. With me, it's like there's no off button. So when I'm trying to articulate a thought and it's not coming out, I'm still just like I turn into beatboxing. I'm like
it's so frustrating. I get so frustrated at myself. I'm like, can we not? You know who you look like right now? You look like you look like Trisha Paytas when she was in her Latina phase.
Oh my god,
I liked her Latina phase.
Me too. You know she's having a Broadway phase right now.
Yeah, you know what?
I love her.
Go off.
There was a time where I was in the wrong and I thought I didn't like her.
Yes,
I was
me
like,
too. And I unfollowed her on everything.
Oh, I unfollowed her on everything. I was like, this woman is ghastly and she's very unbecoming, and I think she's rude and insane. Let me tell you something. That
Changed
was
my mind.
Misunderstanding. I'm back in.
And you know what? We all go through moments where we go, actually, I don't know if I liked this person that I was a fan of. And then you give it some time and you go, no, I liked them.
And that's the journey of being a fan, when you have to,
Yes.
it's not dissimilar to when you find out that your parents aren't gods and
right.
you realize, oh, these are just like bumbling alcoholics, but
right.
This is what I got. This is when you go, oh, okay, so she is still a human being. She's capable of making mistakes, but you know what? I'm with it.
Yes. And I think the thing is we put here we go. Ooh-wee.
We both just had coffees, y'all, and I drank mine way too fast.
Ooh-wee.
And I'm so sensitive to caffeine. Yes, please.
We put people
Thanks,
on. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much, senor. Didn't know I was bilingual, did you? Gracias.
You feel inspired.
We do. We put people, celebrities on pedestals, and we go, but they could do no wrong. The way that I think that Ariana Grande could do no wrong, and I stand by that. She couldn't. But then you find out she's the only one. Then you find out that you go through phases where you go, actually, I don't know, they're not that great. They said something that kind of pissed me off, and then it's just like, you know what, you guys, we're all just bozo human beings.
We're all bozos. That's why I'm like, there's this like poor influencer right now. I don't even know what she's getting canceled for, but I keep seeing. I've never really seen any of her content, but I'm getting all of like the cancellation posts. This girl Anna Paul is getting canceled for something.
Never heard of her.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just like, you guys, everyone makes, and maybe I should have actually researched it. I have no idea what she did wrong. I'm like, can't we just have a little compassion?
Turns out she's actually like a heinous crime committer.
No, she's the P word.
She's Anthony. The one that
don't be fake.
The one that the child.
Who?
Susan B. Anthony. No.
Oh, okay.
Casey Anthony.
Who's Susan B. Anthony? That's
she's on a coin or something.
Yeah,
she's a women's rights activist.
That's right, because I think we uncovered that with Felipe.
Right. Now here's a moment where you go, wouldn't it be nice if we knew anything?
I feel like we looked this up on the Felipe episode.
We sure did,
and we're not doing it again.
Because here's the other thing: I always mix up Susan B. Anthony and Margaret Thatcher because they're just like two old white bitches, and you're just like, who's who? And come on, Susan and Margaret, that's like the same name.
It's giving twin.
It's giving twin.
It's giving hey twin. There she is, Susan social reformer and women's rights activist who played a pivotal role.
Born into a Quaker family.
And we're talking about Casey Anthony here. Born into a Quaker family, committed to social equality. She collected anti-slavery petitions at the age of 17.
She was from Massachusetts. Now let's see. Look at that crazy looking bitch. She looks. Wait, zoom in on that picture of her. And that style is bad, dude.
I don't know.
Whoa, dude! She
looks
like George Washington.
But here's why: because at the time, only men were respected, so that's why the women had to like kind of do man drag.
What's crazy though is that in that picture, she's 27.
If that, she probably died at 27.
She probably died. Yeah, she's 13 in that picture,
looking like a withered raisin.
She looks like that. What is it? American Gothic. Yeah, that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
So Susan B. Anthony and Casey Anthony are not related. Too bad. And in a way, they're both women's rights activists. You know?
Okay, wait.
Because Casey was fighting for her own freedom,
and that's on a woman's right to choose.
Yeah.
Do you remember that trial? I remember I was in a restaurant
Vaguely.
in New York, and it was on all the it was the day I landed in New York, I think, for the first time or second time, and it was on all of the TVs, like wherever you were going in, everyone was like playing it live. And so
How
then, like,
old were we?
I think I was 16 or 17.
Okay, no,
I was still in high school.
See, I was busy.
I think.
I was busy hooking up with dudes. You know what I mean? Wait, I like that
Getting stashed.
Susan B. Anthony. I like that there was already a Google search for Susan B. Anthony and Casey Anthony, and it pulls up. No, they are not related.
2011. Okay, so I was a little bit older.
Oh, I was out of high school. Okay, I was at LACC.
That was crazy. I can't believe she was found not guilty. I'm still not over that. Then she like wrote a
Kaylee's
book.
skull was found with duct tape on it.
And there was
That's
a sticker.
crazy, dude.
There was like a little sticker placed on top of the duct tape.
What happened?
And then she went
her?
to
What
Disneyland or
happened?
something. Disney World.
Where is she now?
I believe still in Florida. We DM her.
How? Yeah, let's get her on the show. How did this?
Hey.
What?
Oh,
Like,
she's in Ohio. Oh no, that's where she was born.
They had to have changed her. Like, she's completely changed her identity and shit. God, if that was me, girl, I'm getting a damn facelift.
Okay.
I'm getting a whole bunch of surgery. I don't want to be recognizable
And you think a facelift is gonna
or whatever, you know, get some surgery, get a nose job.
get your nose taken off? Okay.
How that's crazy, dude.
She works as a legal and okay, so in 2024, y'all, she worked as a legal assistant and does accounting work. I've never watched Where the Truth Lies, but maybe I'll check that out. She has a small life. Well, yeah, because she's killing everyone in it, with a close friend and a small circle of trusted loved ones, including her former defense team.
Oh, Casey does not speak to her father, who she accused of her throughout her youth.
No, but
Something she believes he may have also done to Kaylee. This is so...
No,
Here's
she
what-
did it. She did it.
You know what we need? We need Psychic Wendy on here, because Psychic Wendy knows everything. We can
Or-
ask Psychic Wendy what happened. So here's the thing. We have all of these, you know, these psychic...
Wait, I'm actually going to jump in here really quick. I
Yeah.
just saw a psychic, and it was so tea. Fatima in Louisiana. We need to actually call her right now.
Let's FaceTime her.
Okay. Well, a FaceTime is 400.
Okay. I remember when I was going through my breakup with broke guy, and I went and I paid like $500 to see the psychic.
You did not pay 500.
Like an emergency psychic. I was like, I'll pay it tomorrow, because I had just donated my egg, so I had like all that money, and I was
No.
like, I will see him tomorrow. And of course he was like, yeah, you guys, I see a future. Fuck off. That's $500 well spent, sweetie.
Yeah. Tell me what else you see, sis. How many psychics did you see?
Don't know.
During that time.
Too many.
It was over 5 or 5.
Oh, absolutely over 5. It was probably it was at least 10.
Wow.
Because I was seeing psychics and tarot readers.
Okay.
The only one that said anything that was remotely truthful was I saw a woman who said, she was like, I'm getting abortion. And I was like, never had one. And she was like,
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
yeah. And she was like, there's an abortion. And I was like, my mom had some. And she's like, no, I'm just seeing abortion. And I was like, I don't know, sis.
You're like, well, you're wrong.
Well,
Cut
you're
two.
wrong. Cut two. That was the only thing that rang true for any of them.
Wow.
I know, isn't that wild?
Okay. Do you remember? Because we saw this $5 psychic in New
Wait, are we
Orleans.
gonna have to bleep that.
What?
The A word.
No, the reason why. Okay, so you guys, the reason why the Lee episode got taken down
Was not because
is
of the
because
dog
I
mushy.
missed a few words to flag the R word, RAPE, and then a few other words right around it. So Lee told me that's why it got flagged, and he was like, it wouldn't have been flagged if those other words were. But it's weird that those words weren't.
Nice to
literally doesn't
know.
matter.
Nice to know that those words were what got us in trouble, and not us graphically Googling, trying to Google the most atrocious thing.
Also, can I just say really quick? I don't even know if
Please.
anyone can follow along because right now our brains are like broken right now. But people were getting so, and by people, it was 3 people. So let's all just like also calm down. But there was 3 people that were like, how dare you think that's funny? And I'm like,
Okay,
no
Greta
one
Thunberg.
was
dare you?
how dare you? But I was like, no one is laughing at that. We were laughing that it came up
Yeah.
on stupid Lee's page.
Yes, I know. And people were like, how could you even laugh at this? This is disgusting. I hope you get the help that you need. And it's like, no, dude, it's horrible.
No, it's
Awful. Like these things that we are fed through our algorithm, and it's just like it's jaw on the floor. It's like when I found out my grandpa died, and the first thing I did was laugh because I was just like,
I laugh when I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna say it, and if I can't, then we'll just cut it out. But okay, so one of my dear friends just had her best friend took his own life, and a few days later, these YouTube videos start popping up, and he recorded like reason number 1 why I did it.
No.
Reason number 2. So he pre-recorded them and timed them out. So now they're coming out like a day at a time.
no.
And she's like, oh my God. She's like, I had no idea. You know, like it's insane.
What were his reasons?
I actually haven't watched.
Curious. Well,
Yeah. Isn't that so insane?
yeah, that is. What was that movie?
The show.
Young Women, something.
Oh.
Young Women.
Well, there's the TV show 13 Reasons Why.
No, there was that movie.
What? Okay.
When she ends up getting murdered in the end, but she like does the time release thing where she sends out all the text messages to at the wedding.
Promising Young Woman.
Promising Young Woman.
We watched that together. Yes. Oh my God.
So, just so you guys know, we're also taking up some time chatting because wouldn't you believe it? We got 3 emails, maybe.
Well, my
for today's
cousin, I texted my cousins this morning because they have the craziest stories, and I was like, you guys, 911, you need to write in a goddamn story. You need to figure out something for this prompt and write it in. And then Sydney's like, sent, and I was like, okay, thank God.
Oh, T. Okay, did she send it to the tea time email or?
I sure hope so.
Well, if not,
So shout out to Sydney. Maybe I shouldn't have said your name. LOL. But that's literally all I know. Okay, so our prompt today, though, actually, Mike, how much time are we at?
13.
well,
Okay.
Well.
Well, let me say one more thing before we get into our prompt. Going back a few topics ago, and by a few topics, I mean a few minutes ago, to what we were just talking about with Ariana Grande, you said something about like her cheating or whatever, and then people like getting like really mad. Like I always see all these like teens in the comments being like, how dare you? And I'm trying to work on a joke right now. It's not developed at all, but I'm trying to work on a joke about how she cheats, but my dad cheats and I still love him, so that's why I'm capable of still loving Ariana Grande. But I just feel like people need to have like more empathy, because like if some like average Joe became famous like tomorrow, which people do on fucking TikTok, I'm like, you all have skeletons in your fucking closet.
Not me.
Not you.
No, not me. So, don't have one. Go through the Rolodex, sweetie. Crystal clear.
Well, it's not crystal clear because it's marked with boogers, but
Looking good. Couldn't find anything on me.
so you didn't want to add anything to what I was trying to do because we're 13 minutes in. So instead of just sitting there like a lump, we could have had like a little back and forth.
But what about the Grammys performances?
No,
You
that's
haven't talked
a
about
good-
those.
Okay,
I didn't
thank
watch
you, Mike.
any of them. Did you?
Yeah, because I actually like art, but
Because you're tapped into pop culture.
yeah,
Not me.
I wasn't just.
We could give Gabby a live reaction on mute.
It was
Let's.
so, Doechii is a genius. She's the moment right now. She is so fucking good.
I don't know her music.
Oh my God, she is a visionary. She's like a true fucking artist. She is such a good fucking singer, rapper,
Really?
dancer.
I don't know her at all.
She's incredible. You do know her. Yeah, she's made you do know her. Okay. In her Colbert set, you should honestly watch her. She choreographed that in like 3 days, I think. It was insane.
What did she win?
Best rap album.
Look, there's Miss Susan B.
I know. But no, she
The
won
ugliest
best
woman in the world.
She won best rap album.
Man, it'd be so cool to be a pop star. I think about being a pop star like every day. It'd be so fun.
It would be so fun. Because like you don't have to say insane things on the internet. Like you get to just like be
Literally, I was thinking
artistic.
about that.
Like,
Yes.
you just, that's why there's so much more respect. Because like we're over here just like, here's a funny thing I thought of, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
And then people like don't like you, and they're like, "That's not funny. Actually, it's stupid." And it's like, you don't have to do. Yeah, you don't have to do any of that.
And
as a
if you can show, like, God, she's incredible. Dochi's everything, you guys. If you don't know her, go look her up right now. She's amazing. Okay,
there's Jay-Z. What's going on with him? Do we have any? Yeah, she's beautiful,
stunning. But okay, so yeah, I just love how you don't have to like make yourself the village idiot to be a pop star.
Being a stand-up is really so clown.
It's degrading.
It's degrading. It's
also
clowny.
I was thinking about this the other day because I'm like, well, I got to be posting way more so that the algorithm doesn't like, start suppressing me when I do post. And okay. And then I'm like, some of the stuff I've been putting up, y'all, I'm just going to be for real. I'm like, I know this ain't that funny.
Stand-up clips? Oh, so.
No, I put up this like thing where like.
That's so embarrassing. It's all embarrassing.
But like, honestly, like I remember one time, like, you haven't done it to me in a minute, but like I remember there was like a part where you were like, you'd be like, hey, can you watch this and see if it's funny? Hey, can you watch this and see if it's funny? It's like at the end of the day, it doesn't even fucking matter because like we're all just getting lost in this fucking ether.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just you put out content to put out content. It's all embarrassing. It's like, it's like half the time I'll listen back to my sets, or half the time when I do listen back to my sets, I'm like, oh, this is so bad. I was talking to Ali Makovsky about this yesterday because I was like, do you ever listen back to your sets? And she's like, never. And then I'll do it like a year after I've been working on a joke. And I'm like, wow, I should have listened back to this sooner because it's not good. And that's how I feel too. It's like why I don't listen back to my material because I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to listen to it and it's going to break the illusion and I'm going to have to quit.
Wow. I used to listen religiously, and I think that's when my writing was actually, I feel like I'm coming back into it, but I definitely had like a period where like I wasn't, and just for me that just wasn't working. Like I need to like be hearing it. Also just like it helps me remember like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I remember I had this set and I thought that I bombed and I was like, I can't even listen to it. And then I listened back and I'm like, wait, I did what? I'm like, that's a really powerful disconnect.
Yeah, because it's always the opposite.
What the hell is that?
Like when you think you did really well and then you listen back and you're like, oh, that was bad. Or then you think you bombed and you listen back and you're like, oh, it was good.
Oh my God. We were talking at the beginning about how our thoughts are kind of like hard to connect today and whatever. And like when we're trying to get them out, like we're stuttering or we're this and that. Well, okay, so I just watched this setback. I did this show Microdose. It's in Eagle Rock.
Did they film that?
Yeah, every set.
I've never gotten my tape.
You have to buy it. But I'm friends with the guy who tapes it, so he gives it to me. Sorry. But anyway. So I'm looking at the tape and I remember I'm like, oh my God, I had so much fun crowd work in here. Like, let me like post some of that. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, my brain is so like manic. I'm not pausing. And I'm like, there's like some of these moments where it would have been really fun, but I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like I'm like doing crowd work like an auctioneer, like, yeah, and then you over there, and then you over there, and then hey, let's slap my ass, okay, and I'm like, oh my God, bitch, like shut the fuck up.
Really?
And
that's how you feel when you watch it back.
Yes, and like it was like I still stand by it. It was fun, and whatever, and like some like honks came out, and like we were talking afterwards, but just from like a postable point of view, I'm just like, hey.
I know.
Hey, take a breath.
Yeah. I every time I watch mine back, it's me talking too slow and like having zero energy when I think I'm like on fire. I'm like,
you and I handle it very differently. I go like up, and you go like way down.
But I always think I'm like, no, I'm high energy. Like, and like maybe I can be. I think I used to be a lot more high energy, but watching myself back now, I'm like, why do I sound bored and dumb all the time?
You don't sound dumb.
Like we did that show,
Anaheim,
Big Clits City or whatever it is.
You guys, there's always whenever there's an all-woman show, it's always like bits and clits.
It's like,
come on down to the crab shack
with the all-female female stand-up shows, by the way. Just put more women on lineups. It's like nobody, I'm sorry.
Nitty bitty, come on down.
It's like nobody wants to watch and I hate to say it.
Queens of comedy.
Nobody was coming to watch a bunch of women do stand up. Like, people already don't respect women in comedy, and then it's like you get a whole lineup full of women, and people are like, "What do I want?
Well,
I'd rather kill myself."
There's just something degrading, and I get what they're trying to do. Because like they're trying to like,
I know, I
like
get
let
it.
me like okay, like we're
get
gonna
it.
create a space, like okay, and I'm like on one hand I'm like all right, because you'll see more often than not a lineup of all dudes, and a lot of
Yes.
times it's all white dudes, okay?
Yeah.
And then so you're like all right, but like they're not like all right, ding dong, the dicks are here. It's like okay,
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
You know? And so then but then like the lineup, it's always like pink,
Yeah.
and it's like the princesses take the stage, line on up, and you're like no,
yeah.
no,
Literally, it is. Pretty funny women. Nobody does hot, strong guys.
yeah.
You know? The big dick show. Pussy power show. Come out and watch your favorite ladies. Come out and watch your favorite funny ladies and get some yucks with your favorite funny girls.
Masculine man show. Come hear jokes that make you go awoka.
Do you get boners? Come to the big hot strong guy show.
Hey, do you like big fish and football? Hook door. Come on
Well,
down.
we got a show for you featuring Trevor Wallace, Dane Cook, and Trevor Wallace. And like, that's
Chris
like the
D'Elia
whole-
wearing a mask as Trevor Wallace.
I love Trevor. Trevor's the man. But it is. It's like the same. It's the same shit.
Yeah. And then you get these girls up there, and it's like high heels encouraged. Like the booker would literally say that, like, "Hey, ladies,
Yeah.
let's wear our high heels tonight."
Yeah. Queer woman only show. They, them, onlys. And if you can't get with that energy, then don't even come.
Then you're a bigot, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
This is a safe space for queer women and allies alike. So if you're going to bring that bad, toxic, male, masculine energy, we don't want you in our show, the Princess Pink Pony Club show.
I still stand by this. I want to do an all. I would, if I ever did, I would do one all-woman show called In Sync, and you have to be on your period, and you're not allowed to wear anything.
We all have to bleed through our
You have
pants.
to, yeah. You have to wear what Bianca wore on the at the Grammys.
Yeah, I
and,
like
and
that.
you have to free bleed while you're on stage.
That, honestly, compelling show.
Okay, see.
And we could see, yeah. And then it's like whoever has the heaviest flow, you win a prize.
Oh my God! It could be called Flow State. Flow State, ladies, get up there and let it ride.
And everybody has to wear red.
yeah,
Yeah, I like this.
yeah. See?
Yeah.
Or no, you wear white and then you make it red.
True.
You're welcome.
This is a good show. This is a good show.
And that's what I feel like people are thinking of when, or that's the mind state you have to be in when you're thinking of these shows. Like, I got one. It's gonna be areolas. And you're like, no.
No. It's like, it's enough.
I know.
There's 4 women in comedy.
Comedy is
It's
already just
like,
degrading enough, and it is a boys' club, but like it doesn't make our case any better when we're doing these shows. Pussy power. Bring your strongest jokes and your tightest 5 minutes. And then there's 14 girls on the lineup, and you
14 girls in lineup, and the audience is like all women, and then like some gay guys. And it's like gay guys don't even go because they don't give a
I just was thinking that's really crazy. We just said all of that on a public episode. Like, okay. Oh, regret.
No, I don't regret any of it. It's true. And that's on Trevor Wallace and Dane Cook at the Laugh Factory, back to back.
I remember I had like a period where I was obsessed with posting Dane Cook on our Instagram on this account.
I got a Reddit notification the other day that was like, hey, what happened to Dane Cook's face? And it was just like 400 people being like, what's going on there?
Oh my God.
It does look like
Reddit's gruesome.
he's a lot of filler.
Okay, well, speaking of filler, I feel like we filled the gap enough, so now we can finally talk about this prompt. The prompt
And I know some of you guys are going to leave comments on our YouTube being like, boring, didn't like this one. I missed the old episode. So.
Okay, so our prompt today is hazing stories regarding sororities and fraternities, and we didn't get that many, so I am going to share one. It didn't happen to me because I was barely in college, but it did happen to someone that I know, and it's pretty crazy. Do you want to cue up the first one, then I'll
Yes.
tell you?
Go get in there.
Basically, this person that I know, he, many years ago, obviously freshman in college, he went to a college where they had never done Greek life before. So this is like the first year they're doing Greek
What
life.
the hell is Greek life?
Sororities and fraternities.
Oh, okay.
Get cultured. But so anyways, it's the first year they're doing it. It was a very like affluent school, whatever. He joins the frat, gets in, and then I don't know if it's called, is Hell Week for fraternities and sororities, or is it
I think
for studying?
No, I think it.
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know. You're asking somebody who like has never even
I don't
been
even
close
know
to a college. So
No, I don't. It's like when I had to go vote at LACC, I was like, this is wrong.
Pledge Week, referred to as Pledge Week, a period.
Okay, so yeah, it
during
is.
which new pledges undergo various challenges and activities designed to test their commitment to the fraternity.
Yes. Okay. So for this,
Okay.
yeah. No thanks. No thanks. Anyway, so he gets inducted into it. Then for the final night of like there was like drinking challenges and okay, you have to streak and do this and that, like just like kind of harmless.
Can they say that they don't, like, if you don't make it through one of them, they can be like, we don't want you in the frat?
I believe so. Yes.
Exactly what it is.
Oh,
Yes.
really? So
Yeah,
you can
go
deny.
through. You have to go through.
They don't like
this.
the way you smile. They can not have you.
Really?
It's a boys' club that you're trying to get in. There's no rules. There's no actual like affiliation or laws or anything. It's just their own dick measuring contest.
I did
okay.
an ounce of research actually for this prompt because in my head I'm like, well, why the fuck would you even want to do this? I was like, that just seems
yeah.
retarded.
Well,
I was
it's
like, why would you want to? But apparently it's because wow, now I'm already forgetting it. This podcast is cool.
There's donors, there's money, there's people, alumni that buy a bunch of shit that is all in the frat house that you get to have.
And it like once you are out of it, like you can be like, oh well, I was in this fraternity. It can like, help you get jobs. It can help. It was
a
you,
bigger
later
thing
in
back
life.
in the day.
Definitely. Yeah, back in the day, it was like this like big thing.
Was it Skull and Bones? That
Yep.
was Yale, right? Yes.
Harvard, a lot of the
they all-
Ivy League, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
Anyway.
there's like these like famous frats and like some people and then there's like dog shit ones, whatever. But okay, so anyways, so throughout the week they're having to do these like kind of mild hazing. Like it's like not it's like uncomfortable, but it's not anything too egregious.
Yale.
Yale. Okay,
I know Yale. That's on Lux at Veritas. Sweetie.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
And if you're not watching, I'm showing my under boobie tattoo, and it says Lux at Veritas, which is the motto for Yale University.
And peep her bumper sticker if you ever see her driving around. But okay, so throughout the week they're doing these like mild hazing. It's whatever. And so he's thinking like, oh, it's like, stupid, but I'm with it. Then at the very end, they make them not eat or drink anything like the entire day.
Okay, it's gonna be Ramadan.
Okay, Gabby. And then they blindfold their eyes and handcuff their, or like they zip tie their, okay,
And that's not blindfolding their eyes. What else did they blindfold, Honk?
What did I say?
He said they blindfold their eyes.
You guys, it's
Honk, what else are they blindfolding?
their scrotums.
True. Okay, so they're blindfolding their eyes.
I love that word now. Okay. Anyway, so they blindfold them and then they place zip ties on their wrists and like put them behind their back. They put them in a van and they drive them. I don't want to give away the location, but let's just say they drive them 2 states away.
Can I say that this I feel like is something that would make you come?
Oh, why do you think I love the story?
Go on.
And you would break easily. I do want to say that. 'Cause
Yeah.
you wouldn't like this, but
No,
I
this is
would
you.
survive.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would survive. You would know. Okay, so anyway, so they drive them 2 states away, blindfolded. They haven't eaten or drank anything, and they don't have access to their hands. Some people are going to the bathroom on themselves. They take them out to this farm, and they put them in this like massive farmhouse, and they blast Cotton Eye Joe like,
Oh man.
yeah, over and over, and make them stay there for 12 hours.
No!
In the dark. And everyone goes to the bathroom on themselves, and they're all and they're locked in, and they can't get out, blindfolded, and they have no access to
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yes, and they're all zip tied, and I'm pretty sure that they once they got into the barn, they tied their legs as well, really tight.
Somebody's calling me.
Oh, okay, Gabby.
It's a scam.
Do you remember the movie The Skulls with Joshua Jackson and Paul Walker?
No, never heard of that.
Oh,
It's about
What's it about?
It's all about this. It's all about fraternities and.
gay.
There was some movie.
In a place where tomorrow's leaders are groomed.
Where did Mr. McNamara learn to row? The local sewers, I imagine. He's a townie. He won us the Ivy League championship 3 years in a row. That's all I know.
In an organization
Are you ready to be reborn?
where success is assured.
Our membership has its pleasures, its hardships, and sometimes its pain.
We live by the rules. We die by the rules.
I'm sorry. I just got. It's like
Welcome home.
Luke McNamara is about to get an opportunity
it's so gay.
he's only dreamed of.
Senator, it's a
Yeah, it's
pleasure
very
to meet you.
hetero.
What do you
Yeah.
think of all
or
this?
Yes.
homoerotic.
Homoerotic. It's so gay.
But if a
It's like
secret
what all of
society
these
can
guys
give you
proving to
everything
each
you
other that they're like the
desire.
This is
strongest
your free
guy.
acceptance to the law school of your choice.
That's got to be a mistake.
Like this is sexual.
Imagine what they can take away.
None of us are safe.
What are you gonna do?
Imagine what they
Live by
can
the
take
rules.
away.
We
A
die
bunch
by the
of
rules.
girls' virginity.
Wait, that blonde girl that's in
About what
this,
happened
she used to
that
always
week.
come into
Surveillance
the
cameras.
juice bar I
So
worked
there's gotta
at.
be tape. Can you get any closer?
Wait.
on
Okay.
this?
So go back to the story.
Bib.
So
Okay, so
Cotton Eye
anyway,
Joe.
so the Cotton Eye Joe, 12 hours. They're two states away. They're all tied up. They can't see. They are like
shitting and pissing on themselves.
yeah, shitting and pissing on themselves. Haven't eaten anything, and they're listening to Cotton Eye Joe on blast on repeat for 12 hours. And then finally,
Sign me up.
this one guy killed himself afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he was so traumatized?
Yeah, because it was so traumatizing, and they like oh god, okay, I'm butchering the story, but like I think at one point in the night they came and like were like they were like beating on them and like fucking with them, and then they leave, and then like the guys in the frat, and then they come at like in the morning, they get them out, and then they take them back to the college, which again is like 2 states away, so that's a long ass drive, and then they untie them and do that, and they're like, okay, now you guys made it, and then the person that I know developed like a really severe mental disorder.
Imagine doing all of that and then them being like, nah, we don't want you in.
Yeah. I know.
It's giving Stanford prison experiment. That's
It
crazy.
is giving that. And like that's why like there was it's actually there's been a lot of stories and a lot of cases over students committing suicide during hazing.
Aren't there
And like one kid died from it.
and aren't there
forget the
like a
college,
lot
but-
of there's like people will press charges against schools where this is happening. What's the word I'm looking for? They like sue the schools or the organizations that are where these kinds of intense hazings are taking place.
Yeah.
Just really quick,
Grace,
look at
please.
this long visual. These are all deaths from hazing.
Shut up.
Yes. Yes.
This is a so we're looking at a Wikipedia page. Oh, this is insane.
Yes.
Wait. Like just stop on one of them. Oh god. Okay, so we're May 3rd, 1950. Let's see what happened to him. Alpha Tau Omega, University Wittenberg College, cause of death, hit by a vehicle. Niswanger, sounds like a slur. Niswanger and fellow pledge Jerry Wendell were taken out into the country as part of a hazing ritual in which they were to find their way back to campus. They decided to sit down on the road to wait for a ride, fell asleep, and Niswanger was hit by a truck. Mm-hmm. Whoa, okay. I want to read another one. These are crazy.
Wait, can we go to one that's a little bit more current?
Oh my god! In the way that there's like
We
so
can do
many.
one per decade. Here's 80s.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
So Bruce Ward Goodrich, okay.
These names. Okay.
Texas A&M University.
Good school.
Heat stroke. Goodrich died of a heat stroke after performing strenuous what is that word?
Calisthenics.
Another student was found guilty of destroying evidence, a company exercise schedule, and 3 students pleaded guilty to hazing charges.
What?
I don't understand what the hell that is.
Calisthenics would be just working out, like jumping jacks and burpees and shit. Like this
Okay.
was at the Army Corps cadets, so they probably just worked this dude out to death in like the sun and shit like that, and heat stroke.
Wait, whoa, this next one, hold on. James Lanigan. This is crazy. Zeta Chi, whatever. American International College. Lanigan died after a ritual involving eating small plates of spaghetti, followed with large quantities of wine. Other fraternity members placed him in a bathtub after he lost control of his bowels. Unaware that this was a sign of his impending death, his BAC was 0.48 at the time of death. That's crazy.
That's so sad. And then the thing that just like breaks my heart too is like the reason why people are doing this is like that's like how badly they like want to belong and like have a sense of community and like, you know, like maybe like there's like a lot of pressure from their families to like get in here. It's so fucking sad. Can we make it bigger, please?
Like a parent suicide after brutal hazing. Okay, we don't need your guys' shitty ass stories. We got Wikipedia.
2 Alfred University fraternity members, Bradley Calkins and Thomas Lamb, okay, Gabby, your cousin, pleaded guilty to assault and hazing charges, respectively following the suicide of Klein. The men admitted to assaulting Klein on February 9th to prevent him from speaking out against the fraternity's hazing practices. We were all afraid that if he left, he would get our fraternity in trouble because he was drinking and telling others about hazing practices in our frat. One of the men said. Calkins admitted he hit Klein in the head with a boot after binding his hands and feet with duct tape in a hotel room during a regional fraternity meeting. Lamb admitted to encouraging the practice and not taking any steps to halt it. While he was still tied up, he was placed in the bathtub with the shower turned on and not released until he promised he would not leave the hotel room. Klein was found deceased 3 days later in a creek behind the frat house of an apparent suicide by drug overdose. He was found with cuts and bruises on his body from the assault. A month after Klein's death, Alfred University voted to eliminate the Greek system from their campus. A lot of schools did this. Also, going back to my story, or well, it's not my story, but the story I told, it was also during the winter and they were just in a t-shirt and underwear.
This is nightmarish.
It's legitimate like war torture and abuse.
I mean, do these people end up in jail or are there any charges pressed against them? Like
no, but also this is why like there is that stereotype of frat bros being rapists because of like abuse that they inflict just like on like their fellow band of brothers, and then you add women into the equation.
Dehumanizing is the word you're looking for.
Exactly right. It's so dehumanizing. Sigma Alpha Epsilon Cornell. Wait, scroll up a little bit. So this was 2011. George Desdunes. Desdunes died of alcohol poisoning following a Sigma Alpha Epsilon ritual that is the reverse of traditional hazing rituals. Freshman pledges kidnap older members, blindfolded them, and bind their wrists and ankles with zip ties and duct tape. The fraternity brothers are asked trivia questions about Sigma Alpha Epsilon and drink if they get an answer wrong. So this guy, he died of... Damn. Whoa. Collapse, blunt force trauma. Oh, dude, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's really crazy.
This is like straight up like gang initiation.
It literally is. And then there was this one, I'm forgetting, I feel like it was in California, but there was this one where this frat they all
shut up
a sorority girl. They all had
shut up.
Yeah, all the pledges, I guess it's called. Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Mm-hmm. And then the girl ended up taking her life.
Wow.
It's so insidious. And it's like to like fucking party. Okay.
Yeah, literally what? So you can like maybe get, and also, by the way, nobody that goes to college comes out of college doing what they went to college for. So what are you even doing?
Exactly.
You're going, you're just like in a frat to party with a bunch of guys.
I wonder what's going to happen to university culture because, not culture, but like just like the state of, what am I trying to say? 1 second. Wow. I'm cutting this.
And I get that.
Well,
the popularity of going to college because of how everyone now is predominantly like getting a following online. Like it's not just for entertainers anymore. It's just like anyone can get a following online. And I just wonder if in the future college will not necessarily be obsolete, but it'll be more taboo to go to college versus
I definitely think so, especially with this like anti-intellectual movement that's happening with, you know, dare we say the new administration.
And dare we say it. So there's this teacher on TikTok, and he's a history teacher for high school, and he said that he always asked the class on like the first day of school and the last day of school, like, oh, like what are your future plans? What do you want to be? Like what are your goals? And he was like, more and more it's all of the men in the class go, or all the boys in the class go like, I want to be a billionaire. And he goes, okay.
So
and then by
true.
the end of the year, he's like, their grades, you guessed it, don't reflect that. And he goes, okay, what do you guys want to be? They go, billionaires. He goes, do you realize how hard you have to work to be a billionaire? And they're like, oh,
I could just do it from jacking off on YouTube.
and he was just like, he's like, it's really disheartening to see people care so little about education. He's like, when I'm like devoting my
Yeah.
life to it, and then people aren't.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel bad about when I was in school. 'Cause
I remember thinking
I didn't want to be a billionaire.
I thought it was so much cooler than the teachers. I remember in one of my math classes, I was so bad at math, you guys. It's like I was so bad, and I was trying to be all like anarchist. And I went up to the teacher. I was like, what do we even need this for? It's not like I'm ever gonna need the Pythagorean theorem after I graduate. And he was like, okay. I was like, got him.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna need to know long division. Look at me now, $3 in my bank account and on OnlyFans. Hey, maybe it would help to do some,
Maybe.
to know some long division. A looming demographic cliff: fewer college students and ultimately fewer graduates. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Oh my God. Okay, Wesleyan. My cousin went there. This was the unceremonious end of Iowa Wesleyan. Iowa Wesleyan. Huh. Yeah, we're not looking great. We are not looking like a good educated cunch. We are no longer. Although I did listen to this really interesting. A lot of these deaths.
Oh, the last one was recorded in 2021. That can't be right.
Fat Nugent, 21-year-old freshly member of the fraternity, was found unresponsive at 2 a.m. on November 20th. In addition, 4 additional individuals were found unresponsive and transported to the local hospital despite performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation on Nugent, and that's on being uneducated. On Nugent.
Well, no, because I'm like looking at that word. I'm like,
Why are we spelling resuscitation like that? Resus.
I can't even.
I can't. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of it is alcohol poisoning. Blah 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 blah. There we go. So if you guys want to hear Coke, English breakfast, Four Loko, and suicide hazing, Patreon only. Go over there if you want to hear that one. 2003 Huron SD hazing incident with a crying laughing emoji. Okay. Hi, honks. First, I'm a huge fan. I found out about y'all because of a funny group chat I'm in called Up North Dick Energy.
Period.
What are they saying about us? And I've listened to every episode since and joined the Patreon. Though now that I think of it, I need to update my payment info. LOL. You guys are so funny, so gorgeous. I'm obsessed, even with joy. Okay, even with joy. I honestly don't know where to begin. Most of my teenage years in South Dakota were spent getting in trouble. I was on probation for half of high school. I mean, I was going to say, of course, because what the fuck do you do in North Dakota? And then she's in South Dakota, and she goes, there was just nothing to do. So my friends and I got in trouble. Yeah, that makes sense. We were always vandalizing stuff or driving my 1983 Plymouth Reliant on minimum maintenance roads, drinking or doing various drugs. But the one story I really want to tell is about the Great Huron SD hazing scandal of 2003. If you look up the news story, it's behind a paywall. So it's better to hear it from someone who was there. To preface, where I'm from, it's a stupid tradition for seniors to be paired with a freshman during homecoming week at the high school. Usually the senior would make the freshman dress up in a stupid costume, take the freshman out drinking and smoking weed, and introduce them to every vice on earth, and do a stupid ritual where they line up the freshmen and cover them in chocolate syrup and other stuff. This is so, like, 1700s, when, they would just, like, take out the neighborhood gossip and tar and feather her, and then
literally,
and then behead her.
Yes,
Public
public humiliation. It's giving Game of Thrones. Shame.
Exactly.
Shame.
Okay, so my graduating class had different, more extreme ideas about what to do their freshman year with their freshmen. I was actually the sober driver, so I didn't participate in this, but I was still charged with everyone else. The seniors took it upon themselves to line up their freshmen and cover them not only in the traditional chocolate syrup and oatmeal, they also used pig's feet, dog shit, and I don't know what other horrors. Okay, me and my friends playing King's Cup in high school. That's what we would put in the King's Cup.
Yeah.
Boogers, pretzels,
Yum,
spit.
yum.
And I don't know what other horrors, but it was bad. Anyway, a freshman who was very traumatized, understandably so, ended up telling her parents, who went to the police. And all 37 of them, maybe more, of us were charged with hazing, made to attend court and given 90-day diversions, which court mandated community service. It was totally insane, and luckily by doing community service, the charges were expunged. That was shockingly the least extreme of the punishments I got from my rowdy high school shenanigans. I was caught with weed and alcohol more than once and ended up getting probation most of my junior and senior years, which meant I had to be home by 9 p.m. every night, which just led to me sneaking out and doing much worse. I made it out of my hometown, and I'm now 39, and the worst legal issues I've had have been parking tickets, lol. I love this prompt. I love well, you're the only one who wrote in, so thank you. I love this prompt. I love the honks. I understand if my story isn't funny enough. I am rushed writing in, on the clock at work. I love that. Thank you. What do you do for work? Okay, my stomach is going crazy.
Girl.
So that
Okay, I'm
is-
sorry. I'm still stuck on the pig's feet, dog shit,
Pig's feet and dog
and
shit
chocolate
is crazy.
syrup. What a
Can
concoction.
you imagine?
That's like Fear Factor. It's giving vintage Joe Rogan.
It is giving vintage Joe Rogan. Make Joe Rogan great again. That was peak.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and also like the creativity of these things is just, it's like always so grim.
Here's the thing.
And it's like,
I always think I'm fucked up, and then I read about the things that people actually like, that people come up with, and I'm like, oh, I could actually never. This guy on OnlyFans wrote me.
no.
And he was like, hey, I'll pay you handsomely for a degradation video. Like you degrading yourself. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I was like, oh, I just call myself like a dumb bitch, a slut, a whore, whatever, What? And I was like, I could do, I don't want to do that, but like I could do that. When I tell you, he goes, do you have anything that's off limits? And I was like, no, I don't think so. Cause I don't know. Cause I don't like, as fucked up as I am, I'm like, I don't think that.
What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah. So then he writes out the script. And boo! Ooh, and it's...
Could you read it or no?
I couldn't. Let me see if I can find the message. Actually. I couldn't finish reading it because...
It was that insidious?
It was making me... I was like, I'm sorry, this is like too scary.
What did he say?
Is this him? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. He actually just DM'd me.
What did he say?
Okay. So.
I'm like scared.
Let me read this to you. For the degrading talk, I want you saying stuff like how you're nothing but a worthless. All you're good for is being used as a set of loose and a flat chest to use, beat, and grope. How you enjoy just being used as a skinny, stupid. How you're proud to be a dumb skank whose only purpose is to be stuffed full of like a worthless, broken.
What?
How you'll never be anything more than an obedient for my amusement. Like really degrading shit like that. Like the worse and more and personal it is, the better. There's no such thing as overdoing it for how and dark
what
personal stuff you're actually insecure about, and far you can go for this as long as you're comfortable. Be sure to show your face. Be very loud and making sure to look directly into the camera as you. Is that something you'd feel comfortable and safe doing? And I respond, I said, so actually no.
Hey, and this is why men shouldn't be writers.
Dude, I like couldn't when I started.
Gabby,
I know.
Gabby, you need to literally
a flat chest to grope and be used as a.
Yeah. Hey, and yeah, you are. You're no better than. Yeah. So let me know what you think. Thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, so can you do that for me? Hey, no.
Also, I love that. Hey, yeah. So like, what were you thinking? Well, I guess I was thinking. Let me think. Well, just right off the top of the noggin, you're just this little girl, and it's like, oh,
This useless little. Okay, now we're gonna get this.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
gonna-
and the episode's cooked, and the episode's done. Okay,
I read that and I was like, what? I'm sorry, what's wrong with men? Like, that's so crazy.
that's scary.
It was
Gabby.
scary.
That's scary, and like, you.
The way that the only thing I could think of was like, yeah, I'm just a. Like,
Okay, not to sound like. Okay, wait. Let me start. Okay, not to sound like a pick me, but some guy messaged me saying something kind of similar-ish about him, but it was like really it was really uncomfortable and excruciatingly graphic.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
I
And
don't
he was
wanna
like,
say
no, it's
that.
okay. Say it about me. Say it. I know what's true. And I'm like, yeah, no. I don't want to.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to say it about me. I don't want to say it about you. I don't ever even want to hear some of the words.
I don't want to think it. I don't want to think it. It's crazy. Like, I got a message from a guy yesterday who was like, can you do a dick rating on my small, disgusting penis? And I'm like, can you imagine as a woman reaching out to a guy and being like, hey, can you do a pussy rating on my disgusting mangled labia, please?
Hey, I got a little request.
What happened to you guys in the womb?
Hey, please get help.
This is why if I get pregnant with a boy, I have to get an abortion, because like it's like this
is why you need to do like that genetic planning where you make sure that you have a girl, because
that message I was like, this is
because
harrowing.
I'm scared, Gabby. It's really weird, and like the things that they come up with, I'm like, okay, I heard
the fact that he's just like at work typing this out, taking calls.
Who was it? I heard that John Mayer has a scat play fetish, and he would pay girls to defecate on a glass table. It's like what Mike was describing a few episodes back, okay, like a few months back, but where you defecate onto a glass table and he lays underneath.
John Mayer?
That's
so embarrassing.
Allegedly. And I said, what the hell? What's going on?
What's going on? Huh?
Also, sex is already crazy enough.
Sex
Why
is
are we
inherently so crazy?
It's so crazy. Why are we making it like it's already scary too? Like, you don't need to add anything to it.
Make sure to show your face and say it loudly while you call yourself a little cum slut whore that you are, cum pig that you are.
Stop! I don't like it.
Imagine, and then like me in my bathtub at my apartment, and my landlords that live like right behind me hear me.
A bathtub?
Yeah, just imagine I'd be in a bathtub.
You imagine?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay. Wow, that's not where I placed you.
Where'd you place me?
So I placed you having the camera almost kind of like a GoPro, so it's like a hostage victim. I went cinematic with it. So I envisioned you like setting up a GoPro right here.
Yeah.
And then maybe like your phone, but you can go into CapCut and use like the camcorder.
Do you want to? Well, do you want to come over and just film it for me?
I think I have to. Yeah. So we're gonna cut, right? So at first it's gonna have you like crawling, and you're gonna have chains on you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be pleading.
Right.
Yeah. And I think you should have like kind of like a bit of like a black eye.
No, but I think what I should be doing actually is I will be zip tied, and so I'll be dragging my body again on the floor.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, you're like chained of some sort. And I was thinking like it starts off with you being hogtied, and you have an apple in your mouth. You spit it out, and you're like, somebody help me. Yeah. And then you start screaming, like, I know what I am.
A flat-chested little cum dumpster whore who needs to be pissed on.
And then we're gonna hire an actor, Mike. If you're free, we'll hire Mike to walk in to use the bathroom, and then you'll be like, "No, come on, I'm right here," and then you'll inch your way,
and you can hear Mike just taking the biggest shit, and I'm going, "No, in my mouth, in my mouth."
And can I say something?
Yeah.
And can I say something? I did unfortunately read the Reddit thread where people were like, what's going on with Harper? What's going on? Her energy seems off. And this is what's wrong. Because we have so many, whether it's from the OnlyFans guy or whatever story it is, I think I've just hit a limit where I can't get happy anymore.
I agree. And I will say I read the Reddit thread too. And I'll say this, I did read a funny line in there that was like, Gabby seems to avoid talking about why she moved out. Do we think it's because
she abandoned her girls?
She's avoiding the topic of leaving her girls and moving in with a guy. Hey guys, love you, love our fans. I'm a 33-year-old woman in a serious relationship. I can't live with roommates my whole life. So, you know, you get into a serious relationship, you get pregnant one time, you go, you know, let's start to mature a little bit. Let me
pick me
for abandoning her girls. And you go, no, it's just the thing is I'm a grown woman and now I have a boyfriend, and we go.
I read it to Kate and she goes, I mean, yeah, she is wrong for that. And it was so, we were just dying laughing.
Love in here.
Oh, you didn't like that story, Mike?
No.
Way too dark for
I
me.
know. No, and honestly, me too. Hi. No, literally.
Yeah. So love your concern, guys. Everything's
love the concern.
good.
Also, I do want to point. Well, someone had my back on that thread because they were like, oh my god, something's seriously wrong with her. She got hand tattoos, and Gabby, as the heavily tattooed person, should have been a better friend and warned her not to do that.
I'll say
guess
this.
what? I got these. Number one, I got the rest of these with you. We were literally together. We went to an amazing artist. Shout out to Ruby. And number two, I already had 10 tattoos before my hand tat.
Somebody did say that. And I'll say this, as a heavily tattooed one, my first tattoos were on my hands.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were. This rose was the first one. Well, no, it wasn't. The Harry Potter one on my wrist was the first one.
Okay, period.
Then I got the hideous Frida on my back, and then I got the rose on my hand and all the fingers, and then I started moving
as like your third, fourth go of it.
So my third tattoos were these.
And this is what I want to say. I was like, okay, on one hand, I think it is sweet. People were noticing my energy was off, and I'm like, okay, thank you guys for your concern.
There is reason for that though too.
What, my energy?
Because of the guest things, and we had one of the last guests we had was, it doesn't matter, but we
here's the thing, there were some things off, like behind the scenes, that you guys didn't see that definitely clearly impacted my mood. Also, it just, like, you and I were talking about this the other day, and it also goes into your OnlyFans message. We are human, and it actually goes into what we were talking about. Wow, see, this is why I cannot speak. It goes into what we were talking about at the beginning, where we are just literally human beings. So sorry, not every single episode is going to be ripping and roaring and rooting and tooting. And
then you get messages from men like that, and you go, and it sits in your head for a couple of days. Yeah, your energy's a little shaken up. And then we do stand up, and then we bomb, and then we're thinking about our careers. And then we have no money, and we go, hey, so what are the things?
You go, hey, what the hell's going on? Also, something that I was dealing with is, like, I have been getting a lot of comments from the men in my personal life about my OnlyFans, and that's really been affecting me, and like also affecting my self-esteem. And I'm like, I don't view myself as like a dirty whore, and like I don't view, like, I'm like, okay. Also, if anything got leaked from my OnlyFans, wouldn't care. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Especially after Bianca was on those, you know, what she was wearing at the Grammys. I said, that's even crazier than what I do on OnlyFans.
By the way, crazy you could see her pussy lips.
Also, crazy that that's on TikTok. I saw it on TikTok first.
Crazy that we get things taken down all of the time. If you say like poop, it gets in trouble on Instagram. But then Bianca, whatever her name is, has her pussy lips showing.
Yeah, the cat lips are on full display.
Tucked in. She has a tucked in.
Yeah, she's tucked. But you want to know what? It would have been cooler if she was roast beefing. I'm gonna say it.
Hey,
not to body shame. Like, that's fine. I'm tucked. That's fine.
I'm untucked. And so yeah, if you saw me, you'd go, wow, she's really brave.
That's what I think. I think if you're gonna, I think it's not even cool to show. That's why I don't even show mine on OF, because I'm like, it's just tucked. It's boring. No, I'm over the slits. It's like seeing the roast beef. That's cool because that's empowerment.
It's like when you see it's
like Pamela with no makeup.
Yeah, literally.
Or like, you know, like a heavy girl like Lizzo, and people are like, she's so brave, and it's like, it's just
being called brave for showing your body is that's honestly more degrading than being called a cum pig.
That is
shit
true. Dumpster. If I was to show my pussy lips online and people were like, you are so brave, I go, okay, so
where did you find the strength, mama? Oh my god. What?
Or showing that nasty thing. You go, girl.
God, I could never. You do it. You stay strong, big lipped mama. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I could never do that, but you go. I'm so happy I'm tucked in. But for you, strong girl.
Also, imagine if you're about to hook up with someone and like you undress and they go, oh my god, babe, how brave are you? I'd be like, What?
Didn't we have a story on here where it was like a guy saw the girl's pussy and then like never? Yes.
Yes.
But she had pussy
prompt was
lips. I don't know, and she had like the long labia. And
yeah, and he was like, so much lip. Good God. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
hey, how about you go put your ding dong in a butt? Because no one,
that's so true. And
no
go put your
woman
ding-dong in a butt.
deserves to be like subjected to your ridicule.
And that should be the all-male stand-up show, Ding Dongs in a Butt.
I was trying not to say dick.
Yeah.
And then it came out as ding dong.
I like that you're trying not to say that when we just went on a rampage of saying
I know.
pea lips over and over again.
Yeah.
Should we read another one?
Yeah, Hank. But can I say something?
Yeah.
Can you just read it to me?
Yeah.
I don't feel like reading it.
Yeah, let's hope it's a good one.
Get my
Blindfolded
brain-
and duct tape at a college retreat.
Oh.
Hey Honk, sorry if this is a long one. I wanted to write in about the time I was blindfolded and had my wrist duct taped during a team building exercise at a college retreat. A good friend of mine was a part of the Black and African American Culture Center at CSU. So what's the difference? Now, why is it called Black and African American Culture? You know what? Doesn't matter.
That's wait, what?
Because a confused white guy made the name.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Wait.
it's Black and African American
African-American.
culture. Hey, so now that's kind of redundant, don't you
Well,
think?
this is a room full of uneducated whites, so
I mean, but
we're
come
not
on, it's
gonna
like
we're not gonna unearth that. But I have no idea.
Hey,
That doesn't make any sense.
So this is the group for white and Caucasian people. Yeah.
what? That doesn't make any sense, right?
No, it doesn't.
But then also I get scared that maybe it does, and then I'm missing it.
Hey, well, listen, I'm 0.5% Egyptian, so
Okay, that's your culture.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Black and African American Culture Center at the CSU, and had invited me to come on this rites of passage retreat in Estes Park. Whatever. For context, I'm Mexican, but I'm from a biracial family with an African American half sister. I have firsthand experienced how awful people can be, how awful people can treat you just because of your skin. And I figured this retreat would help me make sense of those experiences and maybe meet some new people. This was ultimately intended to be a weekend-long event where members can share their experiences, struggles with being biracial slash black, and try to make lifelong connections. We did ziplining, yoga, and talked about a range of race-related topics. And now imagine how different this would be if it was a bunch of white people doing
No,
this.
because actually,
Every church youth group ever.
No, literally.
No, 'cause
actually, yeah, just the United States.
yeah.
Yeah. England. Okay. And that's called the Nazi Party.
Oh.
And okay, on the very last day of 100-degree weather, and that's on Trump rallies, and that's what those look like. Anyway, on the very last day in 100-degree weather, we were all asked to be a part of an exercise where we were blindfolded by the counselors of the center, and we were told to go through a minor obstacle course in the parking lot, our hands on each other's shoulders. While we did this, the counselors would progressively get meaner by yelling at us. Things like, "You're never going to make it through college," or "You're always going to be a failure. Just quit now." Okay, sounds like the guy on my OnlyFans.
I'm sorry. I'm still at the OnlyFans message.
Isn't that crazy? That was my hazing.
That was okay, dude.
Milky coffee.
I know, and today it's my fault because I'm the one that got it for you. But I honestly, I can't believe okay.
I know.
I have to move on, but I'm sorry.
I know. My tummy is going crazy. Okay. You should just quit now. They led us back to the conference room and had been meeting, and they led us back to the conference room we had been meeting in the whole trip, and kept yelling at us, "Shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to talk now."
Jesus.
And "Sit down, shut up. You have no rights here." Hey, what?
What?
Not this being a team building exercise.
Well, they're making it a trauma bond.
Yeah, it's just okay. Okay. There's loud drum beats playing on the speakers inside. Also, we're all still blindfolded at this point. This causes serious mental distress, you guys. Like, this is crazy. It's just interesting how you can intellectually know that this is just like a fake thing, but your brain doesn't know the difference.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the same. You're still registering it.
Well, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And that's on yes, yeah.
I was gonna say something and then it was already getting tangled. And can I just say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll cut this, but I I can't even believe we're gonna release this. I feel like I am like bombing so hard on this.
No.
I feel like anytime I've tried to speak, I'm not articulating what I'm trying to say.
I feel the same way.
I'm like, I don't even know.
I can keep it. Who cares? It's like you guys can know the tea. Yeah, it's fine.
And I feel like crying right now, and I don't know why.
My message affected you that heavily.
Let's take a lunch break between Patreon. There's an Italian place downstairs. I'll buy.
I had Italian last night. I had Bestia. So good.
Oh my God.
Okay. We're almost done.
Sorry for the energy. I am like.
And that's okay. I'm fucked up today too. I don't know why. Also, we're still blindfolded at this point. The counselors began one by one duct taping each other's wrists together in front of them and leading them to a small area on the floor where we were all placed sitting in front of someone between their legs. Okay, it's giving Human Centipede. We were all still being yelled at to shut the fuck up and listen to what we're being told. And one guy lost his shit and stood up saying, "Fuck this. I'm done." They told him he didn't have to participate, but he still stayed and sat back down. We were all peeking under our blindfolds when we could. The leader of the retreat then proceeded to tell us the harrowing experience of a group of slaves being shipped through the middle passage.
What the fuck? What?
Why, you guys? Why is this necessary? Why is this necessary? Just like do yoga and like uplift each other. Why do we have to do this?
Well, it's because you have like a bunch of broken people in charge and no one knows what the hell's going on.
Like, honestly, come on. It was about how there was a gory uprising and the slaves that started it were tortured horrifically. Hey, well, we don't have to relive this, okay? Once this all finished, we were let go and unblindfolded. Okay, we're done, guys. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, what?
The counselors gave each person a penny and told us to share what we learned from that experience and drop the penny in a giant jar that was already half full from past years doing the exercise. I was speechless, heartbroken, and I just wanted to go home. I dropped out of college the next year for unrelated reasons, but I will never forget this as a part of my college experience. That's heinous.
That's so dark.
That is so dark.
See, and it's like experiences like that, like, of course it's going to stick with you.
Yeah.
And life is already so traumatizing enough. I'm like, we don't need to outsource the pain. It's like we already have family.
Right.
We got creepy uncles. We got creepy neighbors.
We got guys on
creepy
OnlyFans.
Yeah, we got the guys on OF. And then we don't need to add like the workplace too. It's like, goddamn.
Goddamn.
Can we just have
right.
one place of solace?
No, we can't.
No.
Because humans are tortured beings.
Yeah.
What are we at now?
Hour 10.
That sounds great. We'll see you guys on Patreon. Take a hot shower after listening to this. Love you.
Bye.
I cut for a minute and reset, everyone.
I have to pee.